Hello and welcome to Business Arena on TVP World. I'm your host, Marie Cato. Join me for the latest business headlines of the day. Since Donald Trump's election in November, economists in the region have been speculating about how his policies will affect economic growth in Europe and in the Central and Eastern European region in particular. The consensus has been that they will be negative. After today's inauguration, however, we should finally know to what degree this will indeed be the case.
Appreciation.
Trump's motto has always been America first, so it should be little surprise that that'll come at a certain cost to others.
It seems to me that Trump's whole agenda is repatriation of economic activity.
By definition, Trump policy is in many respects negative for the emerging markets.
I believe that Trumpnomics is negative for Europe and negative for the Hungarian economy.
The word on all economists' lips in the EU is tariffs. The threat of tariffs has been looming since November's election. Should Trump go ahead with his 10% tariffs on imports, this could cost the European economy as much as €260 billion, or about 1.5% of GDP. Although this is the worst-case scenario, with tariffs applied across the board. If Trump decides to target the auto sector, Germany will be hit especially hard, along with its partners in the region. And a deal here is hard to imagine.
Yeah, whether Germans will buy US cars, I'm not sure about it, but we are rather hoping that they will still buy German cars.
Well, as Donald Trump moves into the White House, Poland assumes the presidency of the Council of Europe and is aware of the dangers.
We already have foreseen a discussion about it at the EU finance ministers in January. Minister Domański will chair a dinner of EU finance ministers on the 20th of January when Donald Trump takes office, so it's very timely.
Trumpnomics will also make dollar-denominated debt more costly to service, as it'll have an inflationary effect in the U.S. We saw the effects of this already as bond yields in the U.S. shot up recently. Here, the CE is exposed, although to varying degrees. Thankfully, the CE, aside of Hungary, will be seeing a lot of investment coming in from the EU recovery and cohesion funds.
The day of Donald Trump's inauguration is upon us. Although he is to be America's 47th president, there is a sense that this is an international event whereby everyone has an opinion certain to be very directly impacted. To better understand the economic dimensions of Trump's presidency in this part of Europe, stay with us for the bottom line. And now to Davos, Switzerland, where our reporter Oz Chatterjee is attending the World Economic Forum. High on the agenda of this year's edition is artificial intelligence.
We are in Switzerland today, where the World Economic Forum has kicked off in Davos under the heading Collaboration for the Intelligent Age. And as you can see behind me, one of the houses on the main promenade here is AI House, discussing the state and future of artificial intelligence moving forward, something really, really important for this year's World Economic Forum at Davos. Now, the 350 governmental leaders expected, more than 350 governmental leaders expected here in Switzerland, and 60 heads of states, including President Donald Trump, who will be video calling in to have a conversation with the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen. Trump, of course, is being inaugurated in Washington, so can't attend in person. But a very, very packed schedule here in Davos, and TVP World will be bringing you all of that going forward for the rest of the week. So Oz Chatterjee reporting from Davos for TVP World.
Monday is a big day for the steel industry in Poland, as one of the biggest steelworks in the country has resumed production after a year-long hiatus. Huta Częstochowa, as the facility is known in Polish, will be crucial for the defense sector as Poland plans to ramp up its production of armaments and military vehicles.
What you're witnessing is a furnace coming to life. This steaming hot heart of the Częstochowa Steelworks has been offline for more than a year, but now it's beating again. Its mission is clear: provide thick steel sheets for the country's defense sector.
Without this steel mill, Poland would be unable to produce heavy plates because this is the only facility in the country that makes them. Without it, we would be forced to import these plates from third countries.
The facility should reach full operational capacity in June, when it will produce up to 45,000 tons of steel, making it a major player in the Polish industry, which has been slowly withering away, with Poland turning from one of the biggest producers of steel in Europe to one of the biggest importers of the resource, and production falling by more than 40% between 2017 and 2023. But Adrian Siennicki of Węglokoks, the company in charge of restarting production, says steel production in Poland can still be profitable, if not from the onset.
We believe that if we purchase the steel mill within the right price range, it can be a profitable investment, one that'll pay off, but that won't happen within a year, 2 years, or even 3.
For now, Węglokoks is just leasing the steelworks, but it plans to acquire the facility from the previous owner, which went bankrupt. The company seems to believe that winds are beginning to turn in favour of the heavy industry. The Polish government, which wants to ramp up defence production, is working on a new strategy for steelmaking, the first one in years, and that's why it's counting on this investment paying off in the long term.
The Polish Finance Minister has said that adopting the euro is not on the agenda of the Polish government. Andrzej Domański made his remarks on the sidelines of the Eurogroup meeting, which he attended as Poland takes the rotating presidency of the Council of the EU. Our correspondent Angela Skujins has more.
Leaders from across the Eurozone touched down in Brussels today to discuss the biggest issues impacting their shared fiscal policy. This includes ramping up investment to address lagging productivity, as well as rolling out innovative new solutions such as the digital euro. Now, when countries join the EU, it is strongly encouraged that they adopt the euro. Poland is among a handful of countries that hasn't. And when the country's Finance Minister Andrzej Domański was in Brussels today and pressed by TVP World as to whether this would ever change, this is what he had to say.
The issue of adopting euro is not on the agenda of Polish government.
There were hints that Poland would adopt the euro roughly 2 decades ago when it joined the EU, but has faced many challenges since then in doing so. Most recently, the Conservative PiS party railed against the changes by stating the euro favours wealthier European countries such as Germany. But across the political ideological pond, hesitancies also remain. The Civic Coalition have argued that the zloty has protected Poland from economic shocks and the potential of a recession. But time is money, and many in Brussels are wondering whether this change will come about. My name is Angela Skujins, reporting from the Belgian capital for TVP World.
And that's all for our business news updates today. For more business stories, check out tvpworld.com. Now, join us for the bottom line from my earlier conversation with Raffaella Tenconi, Chief Economist at Wood & Co.